Have you ever felt a shiver of fear when you're all by yourself? Especially when the sun has set and long, dark shadows begin to stretch across the ground? It's a feeling we all know. A little knot of worry in our stomachs that whispers, "What if I'm alone?" This is a story about a young boy named Hamza who felt that exact same fear, and about the incredible discovery he made on one special evening.
One day, after the beautiful Maghrib prayer, Hamza looked out at the darkening street.
The world was painted in shades of orange and deep purple, but all he could see were the spooky shapes the trees and bushes made.
He turned to his father, his voice barely a whisper. "Baba, I'm scared to walk home. What if I'm all alone?"
His father knelt down, a warm and gentle smile on his face.
He put his hands on Hamza's shoulders and said, "My dear Hamza, you are never, ever alone. Remember, Allah is always with you.
He is Al-Hafiz, the protector. Just trust in him."
Hamza took a deep breath.
His father's words were like a small candle in the growing darkness. He said goodbye and started his walk home, his heart still beating a little faster than usual. As he walked, he noticed something strange. A tall, dark shape was moving right beside him, perfectly in sync with his every step.
It was his own shadow, created by the streetlights that were just starting to flicker on.
At first, it startled him, but then he remembered his father's words. Feeling a bit braver, Hamza looked down at the shadow and asked softly, "Why are you following me? Why don't you just leave me alone?" He half expected it to disappear, but instead the shadow seemed to stretch and grow, as if it were trying to comfort him. And in the quiet of the evening, a thought, clear as a bell, echoed in his mind.
Almost like a whisper from the shadow itself, Allah's protection stays with you much longer than fear ever can.
Hamza blinked, surprised.
He looked at his shadow, no longer as a spooky follower, but as a companion. It was a constant reminder, a dark but steady presence that walked with him.
He felt a sense of peace begin to settle over him, pushing the fear away.
Just then, a big dog from a nearby yard started barking loudly. It came running towards the fence, its barks echoing in the night. Hamza's heart jumped into his throat, and he froze.
For a second, all his fear came rushing back.
But the dog just ran along the fence and then turned back, never once coming near him.
It was as if an invisible wall stood between them.
Hamza let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding.
He looked at his shadow, still there, still faithful.
And then he looked up at the beautiful night sky, where the first stars were beginning to appear.
He continued his walk, but now his steps were confident. He wasn't just walking with his shadow.
He felt he was walking with an unseen guardian. The sounds of the night, the rustling leaves, the distant cars, no longer seemed threatening. They were just part of the world that Allah had created and was watching over.
Soon, the warm, welcoming lights of his own home came into view.
He ran the last few steps, his heart full of relief and a new kind of understanding. He pushed the door open and saw his mother waiting for him with a warm meal.
As he took off his shoes, he looked back at the doorway where his shadow had disappeared in the bright light of the house. He smiled and whispered to himself, "Alhamdulillah."
Allah was with me the whole time. That night, as Hamza lay in his bed, he thought about his adventure.
He realized that Allah's protection isn't always something loud and dramatic, like a superhero swooping in.
Sometimes it's as quiet and constant as a shadow. It's in the dog that doesn't bite, the car that passes safely, the sudden feeling of peace that calms a worried heart. It surrounds us always, even when we can't see it or feel it, just like the air we breathe.
The moral of Hamza's journey is a beautiful and comforting one. We are never truly alone.
Allah's hifz, his protection, is a shield around us, a constant companion on our journey through life. All we need to do is trust in him, and that trust will light up even the darkest of paths. Thank you so much for listening.
If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more reminders of faith and hope.
May we all feel the constant presence of Allah's protection in our lives.